Alright, so it has been quite a while since I made my last dilemmas video, and the reason why I haven't really been making dilemmas videos is because I've been dealing with my own dilemmas. And I've kind of just been keeping them to myself just because, I don't know, I guess I try to maintain my composure and kind of work things out in private and then bring you guys to answers. But what I realize now is that in having that sort of mindset, I may potentially be missing out on the opportunity to help a lot of you guys solve your own dilemmas by leading by example. Because what I realize now is that a lot of you subscribe to me because you resonate with me at a deep level, and a lot of us really have the same problems. A lot of humans really have the same problems, just with different context. And with that being said, I just want to articulate the way that I've been feeling as of late. And when I say as of late, I honestly don't really know what that means, because that could mean the past few days, that could mean the past few years. I don't really know. And really, this is just me venting. This is me venting and getting my own dilemma out there, and ideally by the end of this video, solving my own dilemma for myself and for you guys as well. So let me just give you guys some context on my life right now. Obviously, let's address the elephant in the room. I'm houseless, homeless, if you will. And I wouldn't even say that's the biggest challenge that I'm facing in my life right now. In fact, I would say that's probably the easiest thing that I've dealt with in recent months. And I know I keep saying this, but the freedom of my current lifestyle is so invaluable to me. I would not trade this in for the life that I was living 6 months ago. I just wouldn't. The stress of having those bills hitting me every single month, I don't know how I dealt with that for so long while also creating content and everything else that I was doing at the time. I honestly don't know. What I do know is that having this much freedom, and especially coming out here to a place like Los Angeles, which is a place of juxtaposition, and I mean that in pretty much every sense of the word, whether it be financially or physically or spiritually, however you want to perceive it, LA is just this big hodgepodge of different people who are the best at what they do. Even the best at being homeless. They're the best at being gangbangers, whatever it may be. LA is a place where the best all come to create this big hodgepodge of greatness, if you will. And what being in this environment, while simultaneously not having that many distractions in my own life, has really allowed me to do is to confront my own lack of direction in life. Now, I know that may come as a bit of a surprise, given that I'm filming a video right now for my YouTube channel, which will pay me on the 21st of this month. But just because something is your vocation doesn't mean that it's your true purpose. And what I'm starting to realize is that purpose, at least in my opinion, isn't really a definitive term. I don't think that we should confine our purpose to one endeavor or even a group of endeavors, a cluster of endeavors. I look at it more as a general lifestyle of what I want. And I guess that's not really a purpose, but basically, to make a long story short, I don't know what I want out of life. It's not even that I'm not where I want to be in life. It's that I don't know what I want out of life. And I wouldn't even say that I lack motivation or I lack discipline. The problem is that I don't have anywhere to direct it, so it ends up becoming stagnant. And when you don't do anything with it, it simply dissipates. But I've reached a point where the hedonistic pleasures, the PMO and the junk food and things like that, haphazardly spending my money on frivolous items, doing things like that doesn't really appeal to me anymore, because it only makes it worse. It only makes me feel more directionless, right? And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. That's probably why a lot of you started following my channel, is because these different distractions were preventing you from locating and pursuing your purpose. But my perception of purpose has changed a lot in the last year or so. When I wrote Soul Shock, when I first opened up that Google document and I started typing that introduction, I felt like I was reborn. And in that moment, subconsciously I decided, or I guess I remembered, that I came here to be a writer. But even in being a writer, I feel like that's so limiting, in that, at least in my head, the way that I see it is, you write these books, which obviously take time. I'm not the type of person who just likes to put shit together, especially when it comes to something like writing. I like to kind of take my time with things and make sure that I do it right, at least right to me anyways. And in between that, you're not really making money. But not only that, I don't want to turn writing into a monetary endeavor. And that's not to say that I don't want to make money from writing, or I would turn down a royalty check for $1 million for one of my books or anything like that. But I don't want to write with the intention of getting rich or even making a living. I want to write because that's what I love to do. But at the same time, I don't want to do something that I don't love to do either. And YouTube isn't really on either end of the spectrum. It's something that I like to do and I can do. And I think that's why I continue to make videos even in times where I don't necessarily feel that connected to YouTube. But at the same time, if you guys have noticed, I haven't been posting every day. And that's not because I don't have enough time to do it, and it's not because I don't have enough energy. It's definitely not because I don't have enough video inspiration, because I could always make a dilemmas video. That's the whole reason why I created that series, was because you guys will never run out of dilemmas. And I can continue to make those videos into perpetuity. But at the same time, I feel this, I don't want to say repulsion from YouTube, because obviously if that were the case, I would not be making this video, believe me when I tell you that. But that doesn't feel right anymore. It doesn't feel right for me to put all of my energy into YouTube. But at the same time, to my point earlier, I can't just put all of my energy into writing, because I don't want to turn it into a hustle, if you will. So that kind of leaves me in this weird gray area where I don't really know how I want to approach my day-to-day life. And either way, this is just a little side story, but I ran out of hotspot data for the month, so I have to go to the gym or to Starbucks or other various locations like that if I want to work on my books, or if I want to do anything else that involves internet on my computer, if I want to upload a video on YouTube, whatever. And that's after I purchased a new phone specifically for more hotspot data. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. Nevertheless, I'm in a position where I don't really know what the fuck to do with my time, and by extension, with my life. And that's problematic for me. That's problematic because in the past, that led me down a path, down a spiral of depression. Now, the difference between now and then is that now I have awareness. I know what's happening, so I know that I need to first acknowledge it, which I'm doing with this video, and then I need to figure out a solution. I need to figure out what the fuck I need to be doing with my time. Right now, I would say my biggest focus is actually the gym, because I'm in there pretty much every day to do my basic hygiene things every single day, every morning, every night. So I might as well just go harder in the gym. I have a lot of spare time on my hands anyways. But even with that, I don't really want to be a personal trainer or anything like that. I can make fitness content, but I feel like that gets redundant. And I'm also a one-man army when it comes to this YouTube stuff, so I kind of prefer to keep it more in this space, in this realm, the talking head, just me documenting my life, documenting my journey. But what is there to document if I'm not really working towards anything? You see, before it was really easy because I knew what I wanted out of life. When I was 20 years old, when I was the curly hair Jordan who was just starting out in this self-development space, basically I was on a revenge arc. I had just gotten my heart broken for the first time, and I wanted to acquire as much money as I possibly could so that I could purchase opulent things to flex on the person, not just the person, but the people who broke my heart. And obviously, in retrospect, it sounds fucking stupid. I mean, because it is, but a lot of people think that way. I'm sure some of you guys are on that same arc. And I'm here to tell you that it's not fucking worth it. It's not. I'm cussing a lot in this video. I need to chill. I need to chill out. I'm only posting 3 videos a week. Can't get demonetized, but that's besides the point, man. I'm no longer in that headspace because I healed. I took the time to not only do months of therapy, which I spent definitely at least a few $1,000s on, but also I wrote a whole book. I also made multiple videos. I helped a lot of other people who were dealing with similar or even the same exact issue that I had dealt with as far as rejection and everything like that. So I know I'm past that, and I think that was one of the biggest issues for me. And that's something that I outline in Ego Death. If you guys have read that book, I know it's very cryptic, so it may be hard to understand, but one of the themes of that book is me healing, going through that healing journey, and then losing that fire, losing that sense of direction, and ultimately just following my intuition. Just stripping all of those layers of false purpose away until I'm left with nothing but myself and the present moment. And that's kind of where I am right now. I'm at a point where I have no sense of direction. My life is characterized by nothing but uncertainty. But that forces me to be present. In the times where I'm not present, I end up making videos like this, where I'm down abysmal. And that's the thing. When you strip away all of the distractions, when you get rid of all of the fluff, the buffer zone in your life, all of the material items, I feel like the highs become euphoric because you tap into a deeper sense of joy than any material item could give you. But then the lows are abysmal because you don't have anything to distract you from them. And believe me when I tell you that some of the lows that I've experienced in these past few weeks have been absolutely mentally horrific. Horrific. And I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating that, but there has definitely been very dreadful, existential, just confusion. Just unabridged, unadulterated confusion. And I feel like I'm talking in circles. I don't even know how long this video is, but basically, man, I'm sitting in this parking lot and I'm getting ready to drive over to the gym so that I can do my night routine, upload my video for next week, and then go to sleep. But when I wake up tomorrow, what am I gonna do? I mean, what am I supposed to do with my time? I could sit here and film videos all day, but if I were gonna do something just to get money, I might as well take my ass back to school. But I know that that's not the right path because I tried that. And to me, I would rather take the uncertainty that comes with self-employment and this path than to take the limitations that come with perceived stability, where ultimately we don't ever have true stability in life because our life itself is not guaranteed, at least in the physical form. A lot of people, they get these stable jobs and everything, they think they're straight, and then they just don't wake up the next day. And then boom, all that certainty, all that stability, out the fucking window. And I'm not saying that to be cynical, I'm just saying that my perception of life is not really conducive or compatible with that degree of stability. That's why the notion of going back to school or just going and getting a certificate in something which would give me a stable income, or even the notion of moving back in with my parents. I know some of you are probably going to say that I need to move back in with my parents. That's not going to solve the issue. That's not going to give me a sense of direction. There's nothing outside of me that could give me a sense of direction. I have to find that sense of direction within me. And the only way to do that is by being present. And I'm sure I've said that hundreds of times in my videos, but this is why repetition is so important. This is why you guys see me make the same videos over and over and over sometimes. It's because I need them. I need to remind myself, even more so than you guys, that present moment awareness is the only certainty to be found in this life. That's the only true stability that there is to be found in this life. And the more you accept uncertainty, the more stable your life becomes. But it's definitely not an overnight process, and yet it is. Because to be present, it only takes this moment right here. So I guess I just solved my own dilemma right there.